Kia ora everyone, Chris Farhi here, Bayleys Insights team. Quick update on your NZ real estate news for the week. A little bit different location this week though, so I'm actually over in Chicago. This is where I am at the moment, so just down on the river boardwalk, checking out some scenery. Figured we'd phone in with a quick video. Yeah, so look, let's get into it, and big thanks to Sam from my team for sending through the research notes for this week. So first up, in New Zealand news, we had the Stats NZ release the latest census results around home ownership. And so this was quite interesting, found that for the first time since the 1990s, the home ownership rate for New Zealand actually went up very, very slightly to around 2/3. The change wasn't like humongous, so I think it went from like maybe 65% to like 67%, just rough numbers. But first time since the 90s that has actually gone up. The other sort of things to note were in Auckland, the home ownership rate was generally a bit lower, sort of reflecting the higher prices in Auckland. And then the other thing was that older New Zealanders typically had a higher home ownership rate than younger New Zealanders. So that's your first bit of New Zealand news. Over in the commercial property space, so the Bayleys Insights team, so our team released our latest NZ Retail market update, which is quite cool. First time we've seen a report that covers all of the major urban areas in New Zealand, including vacancy rates. Now a big shout out to Sam and Eos from the team for doing all the work on that one. Couple of insights from the report. First is that the retail property sector is actually starting to see a little bit of positivity, and so last couple of years been a little bit grim with COVID and then inflation and things like that hitting the retail property market, but now we're starting to see a little bit of actual positivity coming through. The other thing is that across the market, the situation is pretty dependent on exactly where your property is and the type of property. So for example, there's a very big difference in the performance at the moment on vacancies and that type of stuff between, say, large format retail, trade retail, versus like some of the downtown retail spaces. And associated with that, if you look at the vacancy rates across the market, they're actually not too bad. But once you sort of strip out large format retail and trade retail, you'll find that the vacancy rates in some of the downtown areas in the big cities are actually relatively high. So yeah, just kind of an interesting one. Next up, so we got some sales snapshots, right? So the theme this week was Otago outlook. So we've got two sales from Otago just at the recent auctions down there. And so first up, we've got 21B Nairn Street in Arrowtown. And so this was sold under the hammer, charming 3-bedroom cottage, unique blend of local schist, stone and timber. Short drive from Airburn and Millbrook Resort, marketed by Todd Weeks and Tracy Laker from Bayleys Arrowtown, sold under the hammer for $1.92 million. And then the second sale is we've got 16 Moonlight Track in Arthur's Point in Queenstown. Calling first home buyers to Moonlight Track. 3 beds, 2 baths on 471 square metres. Stunning rural views towards Coronet Peak, marketed by Grant Coburn, Deborah Coburn from Bayleys Frankton, sold under the hammer for $1.185 million. So two cool little sales there. So next up in international news, we had a release by KPMG, so one of the big accounting firms. They had surveyed 1,300 CEOs around the world to get their sense of different working patterns and that type of stuff. And one of the stats that came out of that was that 83% of global CEOs are thinking that full-time office work will return over the next 3 years, so sort of a reduction in hybrid working patterns. So it's just an interesting one. We've seen recent announcements from the likes of Amazon. We also saw New Zealand government getting involved, trying to pull their workers back to the office. And one of the trends that KPMG thinks will influence that will be how tight or not tight the job market becomes over the next couple of years. The other thing which was interesting was that they found quite a big difference between the age of the CEOs. So if the CEOs were younger, they tended to be more positive about hybrid work than older CEOs who tended to be more sort of pro-office. So yeah, just an interesting little piece of news there. Then finally, to wrap up, right, so we've got property of the week. So we've got two this week, got one from Sam, I guess one from me. So first up, we've got in Auckland, 32 Tindalls Bay Road in Manly. So more than a home, it's a lifestyle. 5 beds, 3 baths on 1250 square metres. Effortless access to Manly and Tindalls Beach. Expansive outdoor entertaining area, full kitchen, pizza oven, all that sort of stuff. If you want to learn more about this one, contact Karen Clark from Bayleys Orewa. And then finally, we've got one in the Hawke's Bay. So we got 1308E Tuki Road in Havelock North. And so this is exclusive offering in Riverside Retreats. Gatehouse Lodge, River Room Event and Wedding Centre, 2.3 hectare site, 2 small vineyards, workshop barn, whole bunch of cool stuff, opposite Craggy Range Winery. And if you want to learn more about this one, contact Fiona McKenzie or Rolu Vavasoa from Bayleys Havelock North. Look, with that said, we'll wrap it up here and I'll get back to my holiday. Hope you're going awesome, and we'll see you next week.